Hello, this video is for Monday, August 17. Today we're going to be looking at Habakkuk chapter 1. Now if you've been watching these videos every day, you've probably noticed that I've been making a lot of these videos on the same days, and so my shirt hasn't been changing much from day to day. But this is the last video that I'm making ahead of time for a while, and so I'll be joining you again and walking with you more day by day after this. So I encourage you to read Habakkuk 1 before we go any further. I've got a link to Habakkuk 1 in the description of this video, or you can pull out your Bible and read. Now really, breaking after Habakkuk 1 is kind of a weird place. It's a weird spot in the book. And really, it might be a good idea just to go on and read Habakkuk chapter 2 and even Habakkuk chapter 3 and finish the book. So if you follow the link that I've given you, just click the arrow on the side of the text after you finish chapter 1, and it'll lead you right to chapter 2. In Habakkuk, the book of Habakkuk, we have a dialogue between the prophet Habakkuk and God. And it begins by Habakkuk looking around and saying, God, there's so much wickedness here. Aren't you going to do something about this? Look at all the wickedness among your people here in your land. And God says, in effect, yeah, I see this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the Babylonians to punish my people, to bring judgment. This is the kind of thing that Jeremiah has been talking about in previous days. And Habakkuk says, now wait a minute, God. The Babylonians, they're just as wicked, maybe even more wicked than we are. How can you use them? And then God responds in chapter 2, and he says, well, I'll take care of the Babylonians too. And in effect, what he says to Habakkuk and what he says to us is, I'm in control. I'll do what is right. It might not be as soon as you'd like. It may not be in the way that you'd like. But trust me, I'll do what's right. And in Habakkuk 3, the prophet responds and says, I can live with this, God. I can trust that you're in control. I've seen ways in which you've been at work in the past. And so I trust that you'll do what's right, that you'll protect me and your people, that you are good. And so that's the challenge for us, is sometimes we're not sure what God is up to. Sometimes it seems that God is acting in strange ways, or God isn't answering our prayers. And through Habakkuk, God calls us to trust him. He says, I'm in control. I know what's good. I will make sure that what's good happens in the end. I will carry out my purposes through and in spite of, and sometimes even because of, all the craziness and the wickedness going on in the world. Now, we also have an advantage that the prophet Habakkuk didn't have, and that's that we live after the time of Jesus. And Jesus gives us confidence because in Jesus, God has already responded to evil and brokenness. God shows that he is, in fact, at work. Jesus has already triumphed over sin and death and evil. And those things exist for now, but Jesus' victory assures us that he will eliminate them all entirely. So God calls us to trust in him, to put our faith in Jesus Christ. Because Jesus is dealing with wickedness, Jesus will do away with all evil. And Jesus is good, and he gives us security. So that's my thought on Habakkuk 1, and really the whole book of Habakkuk. If you've got thoughts or questions or comments that is something else you saw in the text, or if you want to respond to what I said, please go ahead and do that. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you later.